Hello, welcome to this lecture on cloud computing. Today we will be discussing one of the important topic of cloud computing or one of the major aspect of making this cloud computing to realize this cloud computing is the service level agreement, right. Whenever a consumer and a producer or a service provider and a service consumer want to exchange any services or what we say metered services which involve some costing, there should be some agreement on the things, right. So, the agreement involve the pricing factor, agreement involve the service availability factor, the agreement may involve several other quality factors. Now, this is very tricky issue, and because a organization or even an individual is switching for his own personal or own proprietary computing paradigm to some cloud, taking the service from some cloud service provider, thinking that he will get same type of reliability and other reliability, same type of performance, same type of security what he was having in his own premises, right. The systems had it been in own control. Now, in order to that you need to have some agreement on the things. So, as such there is still today till today we do not have any very standard format of doing that. What we usually face whenever we are purchasing any services or any taking any VM or any from any cloud provider, what we are usually do, we basically sign off something, right. We say that these are the terms and conditions, we agree. So, some sort of agreement into there. So, we want to see that what are the different parameters to be taken into consideration and how this service level agreement typically look like, what are its different components, and at the end some of the popular cloud service provider, what sort of SLA or what sort of SLA parameters they are providing, that we will see in this particular lecture today. So, if we look at what is SLA or service level agreement, a formal contract between the service provider and the service consumer. So, that is the thing. SLA, it is the foundation, sometimes known as the foundation or sometimes referred to a foundation of the consumer trust in the provider, right. Whenever I purchase some services, the first thing comes that how much I can trust to the provider. So, this may gives me a formal way of trusting the thing, that if the SLA is there. Not only that, this may help me these parameters to compare between one provider with the other provider whom to I will take the service. So, purpose is to define a formal basis for performing and availability of service providers guarantees to the delivery, right. I need to a guarantee to the delivery. If I require a uptime of say 95%, so there should be a guarantee of delivery of 95%, right. So, I want those service provider which guarantees that I am more than 95% uptime it provides, right. So, SLA, now if you see SLA is a broad term, right. So, it has to have different objectives, right. So, that what we say service level objectives. So, what this SLOs does, objectively measurable condition for services, right. SLA is the agreement has different components and these are objectively measurable. I say that performance should be 95%. So, it cannot be verbal. So, some way objectively I should measure the thing. So, SLA consists of number of objective basis, and this later on we will see these objectives can be calculated from different parameters, right, or system level parameters which I can calculate. So, these are objectives which are there. Now, interestingly, the objective may vary from the consumer to consumer, like even a consumer, if a service consumer like a academic institution like us may have different type of objective, or may have not totally different, I say may have different type of focus on the objectives than a consumer like maybe a financial organization or a software company. So, they have a different type of service level objectives. Like I can say that my uptime maybe I can have 95%. However, I may require that data persistence to be much higher. Like some other organizations say that my uptime is typically more than 99%, it cannot be compromised less than 99%. However, I always take a backup of that data, so I may not always require a backup facility and objective, etc., right. So, that can be the things. I can have my objectives varying over time. I say during peak hours my availability should be more than 99%, whereas during off peak hours my availability requirement of availability may be more than 90%, right. So, these things are somewhere objectively measurable things. So, these components should come into play. So, what are the different SLA typical contents we are looking for? So, it is a set of services which provider will deliver. So, it should specify the set of services the provider will deliver. I would like to again reiterate. So, these SLAs are valid for different type of service provisioning, like it can be IaaS type of services where the SLA you want to have, you can have PaaS type of services, you can have SaaS type of services, or any type of other type of things like maybe data services, etc. So, these SLAs correspond to that type of with that respects, right. So, SLA for particular which is a software as a service type of module and so forth. So, it should be complete specific definition of each service, right. So, it will be complete specific definition, responsibilities of the provider and the consumer to respect this SLA, a set of metric to measure whether the provider is offering the services as guaranteed, like how do I know that whether the thing. So, some metrics should be there that which shows that it is providing the whatever it has guaranteed. A auditing mechanisms, right, interesting, a auditing mechanism to monitor the services. So, I need to have some auditing mechanism to monitor the services, right. So, it may be a third party auditing, like I purchase as a service consumer purchase from service provider, but a third party auditor basically sees that whether there is a violation of the services, etc., right. So, these are the things which are to be monitored. So, that is auditing is required. The remedies available to the consumer and the provider if the terms are not satisfied, that is another thing is that what should be that some sort of a payback mechanism, or what should be the remedies if this is not, like if I say if it is if I require an uptime of 95% and if the provider fails to give me 95% for some time, so whether he should pay me back or provide some other incentive to do that, right. So, that should be some mechanisms where things are violated, right. So, that should be this, and if we see that for our day to day activity, organizational activity, there are this type of agreements, MOUs, etc., where there are things for defining that objectively, there are remedies for violating those things what will happen, and so on and so forth. There are penalty, what we say penalty of not providing the guaranteed service. If I say that I have given a guaranteed service and it is not provided, then what I should pay, give some penalty, or I need to give some other incentive to compensate that. That should be also specified, right, what if there is not guaranteed, etc. And how whether the SLA will change over time, right. It may change over time during the particular day of the things, it may change over time over different days of the time, etc., etc. So, there is a whether the SLA will change over time, that is another. So, whether it is a temporally changing phenomena, right. Now, there is a concept of web services. I believe most of you are having a thing service oriented architecture and web services, which are one of the what we say prime mover for coming of these cloud services. For benefit of all, I will take one short lecture on later on in subsequent talks on web services and service oriented architecture, those who are not accustomed, but I believe that most of you are used to it and type of things, right. So, there is a in case of web services where service provider and consumer, there is a concept of they communicate with each other. There is also a agreement thing, right, or what we say web service SLA. So, web service SLA, there are component like one is that web service agreement, the XML based language and protocol negotiating, establishing and managing the service agreement at the runtime. So, it is a de facto XML based things. Actually, the whole web services things runs on basic foundation of XML. Specify the nature of agreement template. So, what should be the agreed upon format or the template of the things. Facilitates in discovering compatible providers. right. So, there can be more than one providers. So, it should be able to see that what are the compatible providers. Interaction usually request response, right, and SLA violation dynamically managed and verified. So, if there is a SLA violation, this need to be dynamically managed and verified and necessary action to be initiated if there is a violation of the SLA. There is a web service level agreement framework. There is a concept called WSLA, web service level agreement framework. So, there is a framework for WS services. Formal XML schema based languages to express SLA and runtime interpreter, measure and monitor QoS parameter, quality of service parameters and report violations if any, lack of formal definition for semantics of the metrics, right. So, there is what we are talking about is more of a syntactic way of looking at. There are few issues of semantics of looking at, but there are less standardization of what the semantics of the whole thing means, like whether the whole this parameter tells something, like I can say that whether this parameter tells that the system is performing well, is going down and type of things, or I am expecting a failure or something, or this type of things may happen when this type of things are. So, there are different underlying semantics which is still to be formally defined or standardized. So, if you look at this WSSLA, this as the cloud evolved from this web service and service oriented architecture, keeping those the framework in mind. So, obviously, these SLAs or etc. are also having a relationship with them, with the things, right. So, but if we look at, try to see that little nitty-gritty of the what are the differences between the things, mainly trying to look at into three major components. One is QoS parameters, that quality of service parameters, one is automation and another is resource allocation. So, these are the three things what we are looking at. So, in case of QoS parameter, in case of a traditional web services, so what we see response time, SLA violation for SLA violation rate for reliability, availability, cost of services, etc. So, in traditional things there is a response time plays a vital role, and there are SLA violation rates for reliability, availability and cost of services, etc. So, if there are violation, then there are what should be there is a rate that what we think will be there. In case of a cloud QoS related to security, privacy, trust management, etc. have more importance, right. So, the basic way of handling may be there, but in case of a cloud we are more concerned about security, more concerned about privacy, trust, overall management and so on and so forth. If we look at the automation point of view, traditional web services, SLA negotiation, provisioning, service delivery, monitoring are not automated, right. In case of a cloud, SLA automation is required for high dynamic and scalable services, like I can scale up, scale down and things. So, high dynamic and scalable services we require this monitoring. Resource allocation, traditional web services UDDI, that is universal description, discovery and integration, that is a UDDI is one of the protocol which is very prominent in web services. It provides registry services and we do use those type of things in cloud also for advertising and discovering between the web services. So, this UDDI is there. In case of a cloud, resources are allocated and distributed globally without any central directory per se, right. So, ideally it is a distributed things and there is a different mechanism of knowing that who is having what. So, if we look at the different types of SLAs, right, what are the types of SLAs? One is the off the shelf or non-negotiable SLA or sometimes known as direct SLA, right. So, one type of things off the shelf, so non-conductive, not conducive for mission critical data or applications. So, it may not be if may not be suitable if you have a very mission critical application, you want to do this thing and so on and so forth. Provider creates a SLA template and define all criteria, that is contract period, billing, response time, availability, etc. Its provider creates a template and all whatever the things is there, it could followed by the present day state of art clouds. So, especially this public cloud follow this type of thing. So, whenever you want to buy some services from the public cloud, it will go you this, show you this form with other terms and conditions. So, you need to agree on the things to work on the things, right. Whereas, negotiable SLA, that means you negotiate and find out that what things will be there. Negotiable via external agent. So, I may have, there may be external agent which negotiates between the provider and consumer, and there can be negotiable via multiple external agent. If there you are buying multiple services and then you amalgamate those services to achieve one particular thing, then it can be multiple agents. Okay. So, it can be either off the shelf, that is a standard or whatever is provided, or negotiable is. Usually what happened, whenever we are having small requirement, want to do is something which is there in our own means some very small scale operations, then we go for this type of the shelf stuff. Whenever we have a large requirement, like you want to have whole organization process into the thing and etc., then we want to look at the more of a negotiable SLA. So, I want a special rate. It is as good as you are booking a particular hotel or transport for 1 or 2%, then you go for that whatever is available. But if you are buying the booking the whole hotel or the booking a big transport bus or something, then you have a negotiation to do that. That what you have also negotiate to have some fine tune the agreement process. So, now what we are discussing about, so we have SLAs, right, service level agreement, and these SLOs are contributing to form these SLAs, right. So, service level objectives. So, objectively measurable condition for service. So, that is one point, encompasses multiple QoS parameters. So, SLOs can have different QoS parameters like availability, serviceability, billing, throughput, response time, quality, etc., etc. So, these are somewhere or other need to be measured. So, for example, maybe availability of service is 99.9%. So, that is a thing. I can say the response time of a database query should be between 3 to 5 seconds, right. So, that is the response time I am looking for. Throughput of a server, particular server at peak time should be something 0.875, right. So, that may be another point of looking at the thing. So, these can be different type of SLOs. So, service level management. So, I have agreement, I have SLOs, now I have to manage this whole scenario. So, monitoring and managing the performance services based on the SLOs. So, SLOs are reporting that what are the different values, etc. Provider perspective, make decision based on the business objective and technical realities, right. So, it has a business objective, it has a business goal and technical realities. How much things the provider is having at the back end, that is also important. From the consumer perspective, decision about how to use cloud services, right. So, it is more that whether it is suitable for my organization, whether it is suitable for my personal need, etc., then that way I measure. So, there are several considerations for SLAs, few of them is one, as we have told, business level objectives, responsibilities of the provider and consumer is important. That means, the balance of responsibility between the provider and consumer will vary according to the type of services, right. So, there are some services where the provider's responsibility is much higher, whether there is a services which also require the consumer responsibility, right. Like I put some data and get output of it. I may have a things that I can, the consumer or your provider can basically accept data as a rate of say x megabits per second, and then if I send some data as a x dashed, where x dashed is more than the x, then there will be a problem of problem of overflow of data and type of things, and which may in turn violate other SLAs of the thing, SLA of the provider. So, there is a responsibility for both the side to check and do, and they are auditing to maintain that they all are following. Business continuity and disaster recovery, another important aspect for thing. consumer should ensure that cloud providers have adequate protection in case of a disaster, right. It may be disaster natural, man-made, system failure, etc. So, it should have it. Business, there are system redundancy. So, many cloud providers deliver their services by massively redundant systems, right. So, that you can get guarantee. So, these are some of the things which are interlinked. There are other issues like maintenance of the cloud infrastructure affects any kind of cloud offering applicable to both software and hardware. So, maintenance is a big factor. Location of the data, if the cloud provider promises to enforce data location regulation, the consumer must be able to audit the provider to prove the regulations are being followed. So, I can say that it may be so happen that IIT Kharagpur for example say that all my data if in cloud should be residing within the jurisdiction of India, right. I do not care how. So, there should be a way to verify that the data is not in some other country or some other land. Seizure of data, if law enforcement targets the data and applications associated with the particular consumer, the multi-tenant nature of the cloud computing makes it likely that the other consumer will be affected also. Like if suppose a consumer C1 its data the law enforcement this law enforcement department want to seize, then if it is residing multi-tenantly with some other consumer, then it may want to seize the whole hard disk, then other things will be there. So, that is a issue which need to be there. Failure of the provider, if in case of a failure of the provider what should be there, and jurisdiction, that any type of litigation where it will be addressed. There are other SLA requirements like one definitely security. There is a big issue of data encryption. If I encrypt the data, how this key management will be there, where the encrypted data will be residing, where the key will be residing, how the key will be communicated, etc. Privacy issue, isolation of the consumer data in a multi-tenant environment, how to isolate a consumer data and services in a multi-tenant environment. Data retention and deletion, right. Say if there is how long the cloud will retain the data and when it will delete and type of things. Hardware erasure or destruction. So, provider requires to zero out the memory if consumer powers off the VM or even zero out the platters of the disk if it is to be disposed or recycled. So, if there is a thing as that the hardware eraser or disposing of the hardware etc., then what will be the other effect on the things. So, these things need to be there. There are several other requirements. The one may be one is regulatory compliance, transparency, that what I am providing whether you are transparent to the consumer and the third party. Certification, whether the provider has a certification process that it provides something which has a particular level of guaranteed services and certification. Monitoring, how to monitor the performance of the provider, that is provider should be responsible for providing certification of any kind of data to eliminate the conflict of interest between the provider and consumer. A neutral third party organization or what we say third party monitoring agency or third party auditor is the best solution for monitor performance. So, these are easy to tell about, but while implementing it is very difficult, because suddenly in the provider things they may not allow this third party to work on their systems etc., right. Then auditability, as the consumer are liable to breach, liable to any breaches that occur, it is vital they should be able to audit provider systems and procedure, right, as it will affect the consumer's own business if the provider fails. And SLA should make it clear how and when those audits takes place, because audits are disruptive and expensive. Provider will most likely place limits on and charges on them, right. So, if you want to do frequent auditing, then it may basically it is expensive both on not only on monetary terms, it is on resource term also, right. There may be downtime, there may be other resource requirement etc. So, provider may not be interested in that very frequently. So, that need to be properly provisioned. There is another factor called component called key performance indicator, right. So, it is low level resource metric, right. So, multiple KPIs are composed, aggregated or converted to high level SLOs. multiple SOLOs are integrated to have that SLA. So, service, if we look at, I have SLA, then SLO and then KPI. Right. So, a KPIs is the lowest level metric which we have. So, that means here is a multiple KPI composed, aggregated and converted to high level SLOs, like KPIs like typically like maybe downtime, right, uptime, in bytes, out bytes, packet size, etc. Right. So, these are the different KPIs there can be there. So, possible mapping, like if availability is a one of the objective, then availability is 1 minus downtime by uptime, right. So, these are the components, these KPIs which are very low level and directly measured from the system parameters, and SLOs are measured based on these KPIs, and this KPI, this SLO, a aggregation of SLOs are this SLA. So, industry defined KPIs. So, monitoring. So, natural question, who should monitor the performance of the provider? Does the consumer meet the responsibility? Solution, neutral third party organization to perform this monitoring, eliminate conflict of interest. Then there is issues of auditability as we have discussed. So, the metric for monitoring and auditing, these are the typical widely used metrics: throughput, availability, reliability, load balancing. So, when elasticity kicks in, so new VMs are booted or terminated, for example, then the load balancing of the systems is a important factor, right. Durability, how likely the data to be lost, how much durable these data or services are there. Elasticity, then linearity, how the system performs at the load increases. If it is a linear increases, like load increases and the system also increases, the system provisioning also increases, whether it is a linear graph. If it is a linear graph, then it is easy to scale up, like easy to chase this higher demand. If it is a non-linear, especially exponential, etc., then it is a difficult process, we will see later on. So, there are few more matrices like agility, automation, customer service response time, service level violation, transaction time, resolution time, these are different other components. Now, if we have this chart, so there are different requirements at different levels, right, like IS may requiring something, PAS may requiring something, and SAS may be requiring something on this different type of a few of the requirement components. So, we will quickly look at some of these popular or example cloud providers SLAs, or what they try to get it, like Amazon EC2, if the IaaS service provider, it shows that the availability is 99.5%, like service here 365 days, annual percentage uptime, region, and so on and so forth. Whereas S3, which provides Amazon S3 provides storage as a service, availability 99% with the following definition: error rate, monthly uptime, percentage, etc. So, those components, those in parameter index we can find out. Similarly, Google, Salesforce, Microsoft provides IaaS PaaS availability 99.9% with following definition: monthly connectivity, uptime, service level, and etc. Similarly, Zoho, which provides SaaS, Rackspace, Terramark. So, there are some of the things which are listed here. So, what we try to discuss in this particular talk is that this service level agreements plays a vital role when we want to make this cloud computing in practice, right. When I want to for my personal use or organizational use, when I want to migrate from my conventional traditional system to this cloud computing thing, then I need to look at around across these different SLAs, right. What I need, what are the parameters I need, and whether it is measurable by the at the provider ends, and how I can guarantee that my work or my work process, business process should not be affected adversely by the cloud service provider. Okay. So, with this we will stop here. Thank you.